Okay, good evening all. This is Satish Kumar, Master Trainer at Profenaa Technologies. Okay, so in last session we can discuss about the concepts like SDLC and STLC. So what are all the process involved in SDLC and what are all the process which are involved in the STLC. So from where we need to use the SDLC and STLC. Okay, so in today's session we can go to discuss about the levels of testing. So what are all the levels which are involved in the testing. So this will be the levels of testing. Okay, so just consider. So levels of testing. So what is meant by the levels of testing? So why name the level of testing? Okay, so the testing done at various level and by whom it is done is called level of testing. So the testing done at various levels. So we had done the testing in various phases of the various stages. In various stages we can who can done the testing process. In developing stage who can done this testing process, and in the customer who can done the testing process. So in each and every stages there is some people to test these processes. So this whom it is done is called as level of testing. So the testing done at various stages and by whom it is done is called levels of testing. So there are 4 levels of testing. So the testings are level of testing will be categorized into 4 types. So if these 4 level of testing is completed only, we can say that the application is ready to release. Okay, so there will be 4 level of testings. So if these 4 level of testing is completed only, we can say that the application is ready to release. Okay, so okay, what are all the levels involved in the software testing? Okay, so 4 level of testing. What will be the 4 level? So already we have known that there will be 4 level of testing. So what are the 4 level of testing? So first one will be the unit testing, and second one will be the integration testing, and third one will be the system testing, and fourth one will be the acceptance testing. So first one will be the unit testing, and second one integration testing, and third one will be the system testing, and fourth one will be the acceptance. Okay, see in this diagram, unit testing means test the individual component. So individual component means in the build, in the application, individual module. So to test the individual module we can go for the unit testing, and second type testing will be the integration testing. So in integration testing, test integrated components. So integrated component means combination of the module. Okay, so integrated components is nothing but the combination of module. Okay, and third one will be the system testing. So system testing means test the entire system. So test the entire system. So to test the entire application we can go for the system testing. And fourth one will be the acceptance testing. It is done by the client. Test the final system. Okay, so these are all the 4 level of testing. So next one we can discuss what is meant by unit testing and what are all the stages which are involved in the unit testing. Okay, so first one, unit testing. So what is unit testing? Who can done this unit testing? So it is done by the developers. So the developer can done the unit testing. So what is meant by unit testing? Testing an individual module in an application. Unit testing is nothing but the testing an individual module in an application. To test the individual module in an application by the developer is named as the unit testing. So unit testing is a type of software testing that focuses on individual unit or component of a software system. So unit testing mainly focus on the individual module of the software component. Okay, so individual module of the software system. So the purpose of unit testing. So why we go for unit testing? What's the need of unit testing? So the purpose of unit testing is to validate that each unit of the software work as intended and meet the requirement. So the purpose of unit testing is to validate each module of the software. So take we can validate each module, each unit means each module of the software work as intended and meet the requirement of the client. So the main purpose of unit testing is to validate each module of the software component and to check whether it can meet the client requirement or not. So this will be the main purpose for the unit testing. Sorry, okay. So who can done this unit testing? The unit testing are mainly done by the developers. So here we had already known there will be 4 level of testing. Each level of testing will be done by the separate people. Okay, so here the unit testing will be done by the developer. So what is meant by unit testing? Unit testing means focuses on individual module of an application. Unit testing is a type of software testing that mainly focus on individual module of an application. Okay, the first point. And second point, who can done the unit testing means unit testing is done by the developer. So what's the purpose of unit testing? The purpose of unit testing, the needs of unit testing is to validate each module of an application. To validate each module of an application. So either it will meet the client requirement or not. Okay, so this is the main points involved in the unit testing. So then another point will be the unit testing is mainly based on white box testing. So the unit testing is mainly based on white box testing. So what is meant by the white box testing? The unit testing is mainly based on the white box testing. Okay, check here. There are 2 types of testing involved. So one will be the white box testing. There are 2 types of testings involved. One will be the white box testing and another one will be the black box testing. So what is that white box testing? The person who can have more internal application coding knowledge. The person who can have more internal application coding knowledge. Okay, the person who can have more internal application coding knowledge are declared as the white box tester. So likewise, while compared to the tester and the developer, the more internal coding knowledge will be available for the developers only. Okay, so the more internal knowledge will be available for developer. So the developer will be considered as the white box tester. Okay, so what is meant by white box testing? The person who can have more internal application coding knowledges. So the white box testers can have more internal application coding knowledge. So while compared to the tester, the developer can have more internal application coding knowledge. So that we can say that, so we can say the developer will be the white box tester. Okay, so the unit testing will be done by the developer. So they can be act as the white box testers. Okay, so what's meant by the black box testing? So comes to the point, black box testing. So what is meant by black box testing? The person who cannot have more internal application coding knowledges. The person who cannot have more internal application coding knowledge. So the white box testing means person who can have more internal application coding knowledge. Black box testing means person who cannot have more internal application coding knowledge. These are the 2 difference between them. So the tester will be considered as the black box tester because the testers can't have more internal coding knowledge. The internal coding knowledge will be more only for the developers. Okay, so the unit testing is what? Okay, so comes to the point, what is meant by unit testing? It is done by the developer. It focuses mainly on the each module of an application. Either it can meet the requirement of the client or not. So the unit testing is mainly based on white box testing. So we can discuss about the white box testing and black box testing. Okay, so next one. So what are all the unit testing includes? So what are the stages which are involved in the unit testing? What are all the stages which are involved in unit testing? So the unit testing includes first one, basic path testing, and second one, control structure testing. So first one, basic path testing, and second one, control structure testing, and third one, loop coverages. Third one will be the loop coverages, and fourth one will be mutation testing. So first one, the testing level of testing can be involved in 4 categories. First one, unit testing. So unit testing contains some stages. The first stage will be the basic path testing, and second stage will be the control structure testing, and third stage will be the loop coverage, and fourth stage will be the mutation testing. Okay, so what is the basic path testing? So first one we can go to discuss about the basic path testing. So basic path testing is a type of white box testing. Basic path testing is a type of white box testing, because unit testing mainly done by the developers. Developers are considered as the white box tester. So basic path testing is a type of white box testing. The test, so what was going to test by the basic path testing? What are the stages which are tested in the basic path testing? The test all possible independent path in the control flow graph of a program. So each program can contain the control flow graph. So control flow graph. So each program can contain the control flow graph for a simple program. So either for the comparison between the two numbers, either for the single additional operation, each single program can contain the control flow graph. So the basic path testing can test all the possible independent paths. What are all the paths which are involved in the basic program are tested by the, what are all the paths which are involved in the basic program are tested by the basic path testing with the help of the control flow graph. Okay. So basic path testing is a type of white box testing. It mainly focuses on to test all possible independent path in the control flow graph of a program. Control flow graph of a program. This will be the basic path testing. Okay. And second stage of unit testing. So first stage will be the basic path testing, and second stage of unit testing will be the control structure testing. So what is meant by the control structure testing? Control structure testing is a group of white box testing method. So and because the control structure testing will be the one of the stage of unit testing. Unit testing will be the white box testing. So this will be considered as the group of white box testing method. It is a test case design method. The control structure testing mainly will be the test case design method. So what's the test case design method? It works on logical condition in program module to check the operation between the two logical condition, to check the operator. So we can go for the control structure testing. So it is works on logical condition in program module. Okay. So for example, consider two number. So consider two number. For example, consider two number like 12 and 13. To compare this, to find out which one will be the greater. So we can use some conditions, either if condition or anything, some conditions. To check that operation and operand, we can go for the control structure testing. Okay. So it is a test case design method. It works on logical condition in program module. And next point, it involves testing of both relational expression and also the arithmetic expression. So the operator or expressions will be considered two types. One will be relational expression and another one will be the arithmetic expression. So arithmetic expression involve addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentages. And the relational expression, so lesser than, greater than, lesser than or equal to, greater than or equal to, these are all comes under the category of relational expression. To check the relational expression functions and arithmetic functions, we can go for the control structure testing. So the control structure testing mainly focuses on the relational expressions and arithmetic expressions. Okay. So what's meant by control structure? It works on the logical condition in program module. So it will be the type of white box testing. Second point. And third point, it involves testing of both relational expressions and also the arithmetic expressions. Okay. How to this process continue? How the control structure testing can take place. Example for control structure testing. Consider two number. Number A, so A contains the number 10 and the B contains the number 20. So our work will be goes to compare and identify which one will be the greater. Okay. So I just take the if condition. In order to identify which one will be the greater, we can go for the if condition. Okay. Go for if condition. So if condition contains A greater than B. Here we can use the operator of relational expressions. Here we can use relational expression to identify this function of this relational expression between A and B. To identify the function of the relational expression between the values A and B, we can go to choose the control structure testing. So to identify which one will be the greater. Okay, so in order to check these kind of relational expressions or arithmetic expressions, we can choose the control structure testing process. To check the function of relational operator, we can go for the control structure testing. So okay, so unit testing contain 4 stages. First stage will be the basic path testing. Basic path testing can test the each and every possible path which are available in the control flow graph of a program. So a program which contain the control flow graph, so it will contain the path of paths. So this each path in the control flow graph can be checked, verified by the testing which under the basic path testing. And second one will be the control structure testing. It is used to test the relational expressions and arithmetic expressions. Okay, next one. And third one will be the loop coverage testing. So what is meant by the loop coverages? So what the name loop coverage means? Loop testing is a form of software testing that focuses only on the correctness of loop structure. So we all know about the looping statements. So what are the looping statements available? While loop, do while loop, for loop and for each loop. In order to check the functionalities of these kind of looping statements, we can be able to choose the loop coverages testing. So loop coverage testing. Third stage of the unit testing will be the loop coverage testing. First stage will be basic path of the each and every path of the control flow graph in a graph of a program. And second stage will be the control structure testing to test the relational expressions and arithmetic expression. And third one will be the loop coverages. It is used to test the loop functionalities of the loops. So what are the loops? While loop, do while, for loop and for each loop. So these are tested by the loop coverage testing. In order to test the functionalities of the loop, we can go for the testing which is named as the loop coverage testing, which are involved under the stage of unit testing. So example for loop coverage will be considered the for loop. So how the for loop can function? So once we enter the entry number and return exit number, we just get the output either in the increment order or decrement order. So these all possible functions are tested in the loop coverages testing. Okay. So the final stage of the unit testing. So the final stage of the unit testing will be the mutation testing. The final stage of unit testing. The final stage of the unit testing will be the mutation testing. So what is meant by the mutation testing? Mutation testing is a type of software testing. Mutation testing is a type of software testing that is performed to design new software. So either in order to design a new software, we can go for mutation testing. Either in order to update the already available software also, we can go for the mutation testing. So the mutation testing can function in two ways. In order to design a new software, we can go for the mutation testing. In order to test the updated software also, we can go for the mutation testing. So mutation testing is a type of software testing that is performed to design new software. And it is performed to design the new software. It also evaluates the quality of already existing software test. Okay, it also evaluates the quality of already existing software test. This is the mutation testing. These are considered as the fourth stage of the unit testing. Okay, so example for mutation testing. What is the real-time example of mutation testing? So in order to validate the login page of Facebook application, we can use the mutation testing. Okay, so validation of login page of Facebook web application in valid and invalid details. So how we can check the login details? Either we can enter the valid username and the valid password. In second step, we can enter the valid username and invalid password. In third step, we can enter the invalid username and valid password. In fourth step, we can enter the invalid username and invalid password. For this kind of testing, we can go for the mutation testing. So these are all the 4 stages which are involved in the unit testing. First stage will be the basic part testing, and second stage will be the control structure testing, and third stage will be the loop coverages testing, and fourth final stage will be the mutation testing. So the final stage of unit testing will be the mutation testing. In first stage, okay, so what is meant by unit testing? Unit testing is done by the developers. It is used to test the each and every module of the application. Unit testing mainly focuses on white box testing. Okay, so what are the stages involved in the unit testing? So this is all about the unit testing. Okay, and second level of testing will be the integration testing. Okay, the second level of testing will be the integration testing. So what is meant by the integration testing? So integration testing, it is the phases. So integration testing, it is the phase in software testing in which the whole software module is tested. So it is the phase in software testing. It is the phase in software testing in which the whole software module is tested. Okay, so in order to test the whole software module, we can go for the integration testing. Only the module of the application, not the entire application. So entire application contain not only the module, it also contain the GUI and other things. Okay, so in order to test the entire module of the application, we can go for the integration testing. Okay, so what is that? If it consists of multiple software module, they are combined and then tested as a group. Okay, so for example, consider the Facebook web application. Okay, so consider the Facebook web application. The Facebook web application contains the login module, okay, sorry, sign in module, sign up module, and help module, and they contain some certain modules. Now Amazon application means e-commerce application. For example, consider the e-commerce application. They contain the registration module, next login module, next product selection module, next payment module, next one will be the closing module. Okay, so there are n number of modules. So entire application contains, in every application we contain certain n number of modules. By combining the module and test the application will be named as the integration testing. Unit testing focuses only on individual module, but integration testing focuses on combination of any two modules. Okay, this will be the difference. Okay, it is done by the developers. Unit testing also done by the developers only, but integration testing is done by the developers with the help of testers. Okay, unit testing entirely done by developer itself, but the integration testing, it is done by the developers with the help of testers. Okay, and second one, okay, and second one, combination or merging the two modules. Okay, so the integration testing can involve in combining or merging the two modules of the software. Okay, so and next one, test based on black box testing. So the integration testing is based on the black box testing because it's not completely done by the developers. It is done by the testers. Sorry, it is done by the developers with the help of testers, so that it will be focused on the black box testing. Okay, so compared to the unit testing and integration testing, a small comparison between the unit testing and integration testing. Unit testing is done by developers and integration testing is done by the developers with the help of testers. Unit testing mainly focuses on every module of an application, maybe individual module of an application, but integration testing means combination of any two module in an application. Okay, the unit testing is done by the developers, so it mainly used by the white box testing, and the integration testing is done by the developers with help of testers, so they can come under the category of black box testing. So they can come under the category of black box testing. Okay, next one, what are the types involved in the integration testing? So what are all the types of integration testing? First one will be the incremental integration testing. Okay, first type will be the incremental integration testing, and second one will be the non-incremental integration testing. So incremental integration testing and non-incremental integration testing. Okay, so incremental integration testing and non-incremental integration testing. So what is that incremental integration testing? So incrementally adding the module and testing the data flow between the modules. So incrementally adding the modules. So we can add the module incrementally and testing the data flow between the modules. Okay. So we just incrementally adding the module and testing the data flow between the modules. Okay. So this incremental integration testing can also available in two approaches. One will be the top-down approach and another one will be the bottom-up approach. So first, the integration testing are mainly divided into two categories. First one will be the incremental integration testing and second one will be the non-incremental integration testing. Incremental integration testing. So incremental integration testing means adding the module incrementally and then test the application. So this will be the incremental integration testing. So this incremental integration testing also contain two approaches. One will be the top-down approach and another one will be the bottom-up approach. So what is the top-down approach and bottom-up approach? What are the process in top-down approach? So top-down integration testing involve designing the main module first, then calling sub-module from it. Sorry. Top-down integration testing involve designing the main module first, then calling sub-module from it. So for example, consider the email. In email, the main module will be the compose module. So after composing the messages, we can just click the send button. So after that, the sub-module will be the sent items to verify the message whether will be delivered to the required person or not. Okay. So the main module will, so in top-down approach, the compose module will be tested first. After that only they can test the sent item module. Okay. So in order to test the large module at first and then test the sub module will be named as the top-down approach. Okay. So top-down approach means testing the large module at main module at first and then test the sub module from it. Okay. So it is the higher level combination of unit. Maybe it will be considered as two large module combination. Okay. Okay, these are all the top-down approaches. Okay. So next one here, just to see the example for the top-down approach. So in top-down approach, module 1 will be considered as the main module category. So in top-down, module 1 will be considered as the main module. And this main module contain two categories. One will be the module 2 and another one will be the module 3. So the main module 1 will be divided into two sub-modules. One will be the module 2 and another one will be the module 3. Okay, again the module 2 sub-module 2 is divided into two categories. This one will be the module 4 and module 5. So after testing the module 1, they can test the module 2. After testing the module 2, they can test the module 4 and module 5. So in this way of testing means first test the higher level combination of the module. After that testing the lower level combination of the module. So this will be considered as the top-down approach. Okay. Second one, bottom-up approach. So first one of the integration, non-incremental integration testing will be the top-down approach, and second one of the incremental integration testing will be the bottom-up approach. So what is meant by the bottom-up integration testing? Bottom-up approach. So bottom-up integration testing is a technique that starts with testing the lowest module. It is the lower level combination of unit. So that starts with testing the lower module at first. So same as in email, the lower module will be the sent item. After sent the mail, we can next goes to the compose to compose the another mail. So first in top-down approach, we compose the mail and then send it. So after that large module category compose module, we can enter into the sub module sent item to verify the mail will be delivered or not. And after verifying the sent item, the mail will be verified, we can go for to the again to the compose module to compose the new mail. This will be considered as the bottom-up approach. So first we can test the sub module. After that only we can test the main module. So from bottom to top of the module, it will be considered as the bottom-up approach. So top down approach means top level of the top module, large module, maybe main module to the sub module, and in bottom up approach we can test the sub module to the main module. This will be the two difference between the top down approach and bottom up approach. So what are the real time example for integration testing? So we have discussed about the integration testing, but we can't get the real time example in it. So the main real time example considered will be there. So what is the real time example for integration testing? The fuel system. So all are known about the fuel system. The fuel system may be tested in collaboration with the exhaust system. So we just test the fuel system in collaboration with the exhaust system. So first module will be the fuel system and second module will be the exhaust system, and later these two modules working is tested in collaboration with the working of an engine. So later we can combine these two modules. So first module will be the fuel system and second module will be the exhaust system, and later we just combine these two modules, fuel system module and exhaust system module, to collaboration with the engine. So this will be considered as the real time example for the integration testing, and finally we can test the entire application. Okay, so this will be considered entire module. So module 1 will be the fuel system and module 2 exhaust system, both are combined and tested in the engine. So this will be the real time example for the integration testing. Okay, next one. So second stage of integration testing will be the non-incremental integration testing. So first stage will be incremental integration testing and second stage will be the non-incremental integration testing. So what is meant by the non-incremental integration testing? So it is also known as the Big Bang integration testing. So the non-incremental integration testing means Big Bang integration testing. So what is the Big Bang approach? Big Bang integration testing is a type of integration that combine all the modular component of a system into a single unit and test them as a whole. So in top down approach we just consider two module and then test out, combine two module and test out. In bottom approach we combine two module and test out, but combining the entire module which are available in the application. Okay, by combining the entire modules which are available in the application and then test the application, which are named as the Big Bang approach. Big Bang approach means by combining the entire modules which are available in the application. These are the three approaches which are available in the integration testing. Top down approach means large module to the main module to sub module. Bottom approach means sub module to main module. But while combining all of the module and test the entire module which are available in the application, which comes under the category of non-incremental integration testing, which is nothing but the Big Bang approach. Okay, so next one, example for the Big Bang integration testing. So just consider the example for Big Bang integration testing. Here we just consider, for example, consider a simple system with three modules. We contain a simple system which contains three modules named as module A, module B and module C. So we contains three modules which will be the module A, module B and module C. Okay, so A has been tested and found to be working correctly. So module A will be tested with the system and it found to be working correctly. The module B will be tested and found it to be working correctly, and module C will be tested with module B and then again it will be tested with the system. So after that, here we can test the individual module. After that we can to test the system as a whole, all the three modules are integrated and tested together. After testing the individual module or combination of module A, module B, module C, we can test combine all of the module A, module B and module C and then test the application. It will be the Big Bang integration testing. So Big Bang integration testing means combination of all of the modules. Test the application with the combination of all of the modules will be named as the Big Bang integration testing. Okay, so first level of testing will be the unit testing. It contains 4 stages. So first stage will be the basic path testing, second one control structure testing, and third one will be the loop coverages, and fourth one will be the mutation testing. And second stage level of testing will be the integration integration testing. Integration testing contain two categories. One will be the incremental integration testing and second one will be the non-incremental integration testing. So incremental integration testing contain two approaches. One will be the top-down approach and another one will be the bottom-up approach. And third one will be the second type will be the Big Bang approach. Okay, the third level of system testing. So what is the third level of the system testing? So third level of testing will be the system testing. So it is the complete application testing. So in order to test the single module, we can go for unit testing. To test the entire module, so entire modules which are available in the application, we can go for the integration testing. To test the complete application, we can go for the system testing. It is the complete application testing. Okay. So the system testing is done completely by the testers itself. So but the unit testing is done by the developer. So the integration testing is done by the developer with the help of tester, and the system testing is completely done by the testers itself. So for unit testing main based on white box testing, and integration testing based on the black box testing, and the system testing also mainly based on the black box testing. So what are the stages which are involved in the system testing? The system testing contains the three stages. So first one will be the GUI testing. So first one will be the GUI testing, and second one will be the functional testing, and third one will be the non-functional testing. Okay. So first one will be the GUI testing, and second one will be the functional testing, and third one will be the non-functional testing. So system testing means testing the entire application, which is named as the system testing. It is done completely by the testers itself. It is fully dependent on black box testing. The system testing includes three stages. First one will be the GUI testing, and second one will be the functional testing, and third one will be the non-functional testing. Okay. So what's meant by the GUI? What is the definition of GUI? GUI means Graphical User Interface Testing. GUI is nothing but the Graphical User Interface Testing. So what is the Graphical User Interface? What is named as Graphical User Interface? What are involved in Graphical User Interface? So GUI, Graphical User Interface Testing, refers to the validating UI functions of the application. In order to test the UI functionalities of the application, we can go for the GUI testing. Okay. In order to test the GUI functionalities of the application, we can go for the GUI testing. So UI functionalities of the application, so in order to test the UI functionalities of the application, we can go for GUI testing. So what is the UI functionalities of the application? So what we can go to test in this GUI testing? So first we can UI functionalities like the checkboxes, buttons, colors, logos, font, text, icons. These are all comes under the category of the GUI testing. Okay. So at first GUI testing means Graphical User Interface Testing. The Graphical User Interface Testing refers to the validating UI functions of an application. Okay. So what's the UI function of an application? Include elements such as checkboxes, buttons, color, fonts, content, etc. So another point, see here. So the testing field, okay, GUI testing refers to the validating UI function of an application that are visible to the users. So which are all visible to the users only we can going to test in this GUI testing. So which are not visible to the user, we can't be able to test it. Okay. So which are all visible to the users, and they should comply with the business requirement. So in order to test whether it can meet the business requirement or not. Okay. So GUI testing focus on UI functionalities of the testing. It is used to test the UI functionalities of the application. Okay. And second one, which are all visible to the users. So we can going to test only which are all visible to the users, and they should meet the requirement of the client. Okay. So what will be involved in the UI testing means the checkboxes, buttons, color, font, content, etc. Okay. Okay. So the second stage of the second stage of the system testing. Okay. The second stage. So first stage will be the GUI testing. Okay. So completed. And second stage of system testing will be the functional testing. So what are the categories involved in the functional testing? We are all already discussed about these functional testings and non-functional testings and everything, web services testing and everything. So these are all so in order to test the entire application means we need to test the functional testing, non-functional testing and web services testing. So once we complete these testings, only we can declare that the application is completely tested. So what are the functional testing? So first one will be the, as usual, manual testing, and second one will be the automation testing, and third one will be the web services testing. Okay. So functional testing means, manual testing means, what's the manual testing? Testing the functionalities of the application manually, it's named as manual testing. So testing the functionalities of the application with the help of some software means it will be named as automation testing. So web services testing means the desktop related application. In order to test the desktop related applications, we can go for the web services testing. So manual testing means testing the functionalities of the application manually, and automation testing means testing the functionalities of the application with the help of some tool, is named as automation testing. And last, web services testing. Web services testing means testing the desktop related applications. Okay, and next stage of the system testing will be the non-functional testing. So first stage GUI testing, and second stage functional testing, and third stage will be the non-functional testing. So non-functional testing, what are involved in non-functional testing? First one will be the performance testing. All are known about this performance testing, to test the performance of the application. And second one will be the usability testing. So how the application will be user friendly to the people. So as a user, how much the application will be user friendly. And security testing, how secure the application for the user. This will be the security testing. And fourth one will be the acceptance testing. So what is meant by the acceptance testing? It is done in the client side. Okay, so these are comes under the category of non-functional testing. So the system testing contains three categories. First one will be the GUI testing, and second one will be the functional testing, and third one will be the non-functional testing. In this third level of testing, system testing, we just test the entire application. So in order to test the entire application, we can able to choose the system testing. Okay. And the last level of testing will be the acceptance testing, and the fourth level of testing will be the acceptance testing. Okay, so what's mean by acceptance testing? The fourth level of testing will be the acceptance testing. So what is mean by the acceptance testing? Acceptance testing means evaluate a product, prototype or software application to make sure it is up to specification and quality before putting it to the production. So here concern two ways. Acceptance testing are done in two ways. So before enter into the production of an application, we can create the prototype. So in order to test the prototype means which all comes under the acceptance testing. Either it can meet the requirement of the client or not. So after developing the application also, we can make some acceptance testing. Either it can meet the requirement of the client or not. These are all done under the client side. Okay, so this will be the acceptance testing. And next point, to check whether it can satisfy the client requirement, it is done by the client side. So acceptance testing evaluates product or prototype or software application. A product, okay. Acceptance testing evaluate a product. Okay, so we can evaluate the product either in the prototype or in the software application, entire application. By the prototype means we can test whether it will meet the requirement or from by the so or by the software application. Okay, or by the after developing the application also we can run the acceptance testing. Okay, this will be named as the acceptance testing. Okay, this will be the final stage of the final level of testing. So first level will be the unit testing, and second level integration testing, third one will be the system testing, and fourth one will be the acceptance testing. Unit testing is done by the developers, and the integration testing is done by developer with the help of tester, and third one system testing is done by the testers itself, and acceptance testing. So okay, so these are all about the levels of testing. Okay, thank you. So we will meet what are the types of testing. So in next session we can go to discuss about what are the types of testing. There are various level of testing types, and this will be discussed about in the next session. Okay, thank you.